Good Monday morning, Central Georgia. You're taking a live look over a beautiful downtown Macon. The time is now 6:30 a.m. here on this December the 19th. I'm Wanye Reese. Thank you so much for continuing to stay with us this morning. As Jordan said this morning, ooh-wee, that is the right term to use because it's just downright cold out there this morning, Jordan.
That's right. Very cold, below freezing cold. Don't want to go outside cold. Want to be in the bed right now cold. But that's okay. That's okay. It's 25 degrees out there in Macon. Dew point is at 22 degrees, and the current temperatures are across the board in a similar situation. We're looking at 28 in Warner Robins, 25 in Macon, 26 Cochran, 23 Eastman, 29 Roberta, 30 degrees in Monticello. So there you go. We're cold here. It's cold everywhere across much of the U.S. We're looking at temperatures like 24 in Omaha, 1 degrees in Minneapolis. Y'all okay up there? 11 in Chicago, 17 degrees in Indianapolis. So it's very, very cold across the United States. And yesterday we saw a high of 54 degrees. The average for today is typically around 61 degrees, or yes, yesterday. Nevertheless, very cold, very below average. We're going to continue that pattern. Dew points are also on the drier side, but I'll talk about the rain chances this evening, the rain likely tomorrow, and the cold week ahead coming up in your full forecast.
Thank you, Jordan. We'll check in with you soon. This morning, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is investigating two separate crashes on Pio Nono Avenue that left two people in critical condition. The Sheriff's Office says they're looking for the driver who hit someone on the 300 block of the road last night and left the scene. The man was taken to the hospital, and as of last night, he's listed in critical but stable condition. Another crash happened around 5:47 p.m. last night on the road. Deputies say a woman was hit by a Honda Accord while riding a bicycle on Pio Nono Avenue near the DuBois Street intersection. The woman was taken to the hospital and is currently listed in critical condition. Deputies say the driver of the Honda Accord was not hurt. Anyone with information about either of these incidents, you should reach out to the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Their number is 478-751-7500. That number again for you, it's 478-751-7500. These are developing stories, and as we get more information, we'll be sure to let you know about it on air and online at 13wmaz.com. Well, right now, a driver is now in custody after ramming into a patrol car in a high-speed chase. So on Friday, Georgia State troopers say they were headed to Pio Nono Avenue in Macon when they saw a car speeding towards them. Troopers then chased the car until they got to Bloomfield Road, where they tried to do a pit maneuver. The driver then crashed into a patrol car to avoid being stopped and flipped into a ditch. The name of the driver has not been released just yet. A security guard who was shot outside the Full House Tavern on Bloomfield Road last week has died. Macon Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones says 42-year-old Dedrick Bowles died just after 3:30 yesterday morning. Bowles' death marks the 70th homicide for the year here in Macon Bibb County. Investigators are still working to find out what led up to the shooting. It's 6:33. Let's get a check of your national news. Members of the January 6th committee investigating the attack on the Capitol are getting ready for what's expected to be their last public meeting. The House panel of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans is set to dissolve at the end of the year. But first, they're expected to make both criminal and civil referrals against former President Donald Trump and some of his allies. Lawmakers say they broke the law or committed ethical violations in efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results. Texas border cities are preparing for a possible increase of thousands of new migrants a day crossing the Mexico border. Pandemic-era immigration restrictions known as Title 42 expire this Wednesday. The rule was used to deter more than 2.5 million migrants from crossing. Over the weekend, El Paso's mayor declared a state of emergency to access additional local and state resources. And Argentina celebrates its stunning victory in what many are describing as the best World Cup final in the tournament's 92-year history. 35-year-old Lionel Messi led Argentina to its 3rd World Cup title by beating France 4-2 in a penalty shootout after a 3-3 draw. The World Cup in Qatar was the first played in the Arab world. I know I saw a lot of people on social media talking about this. Time to get a check of your state news. A shootout at an Atlanta apartment complex leaves 2 teen boys dead and 3 others hurt. Atlanta police say they responded to a call of multiple people shot just after 5 p.m. at the Retreat at Greenbrier Apartments. They say the shooting started because of a dispute on social media. One of the 2 groups that was involved in the fight online showed up at the apartment complex. Investigators say they believe that both groups were armed with guns and multiple people shot at one another.
I couldn't even make it with a thought to get down here because, first of all, the problem is that if they didn't give these young kids these guns, you know, guns are so easy to get now, you know, it's scary.
A 15-year-old girl, 15-year-old boy, and 11-year-old boy were all taken to the hospital, and they are expected to be okay. Yesterday afternoon, Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens issued a statement through the city's Twitter account saying his heart is broken for the families of the victims and that, quote, "I have anger in my soul." Dickens also touched on that Thursday night, saying, quote, "It's time to end this epidemic of gun violence that is taking our young people's lives." In Athens, a massive fire broke out at a lumber yard near the Athens Perimeter Loop. I mean, just take a look at these pictures. They're incredible. On the Facebook page of Athens-Clarke County Fire and Emergency Services, they say that they were battling the fire last night before 8:30 p.m. Right now, it's not clear how the fire started or if anyone was hurt. Right now, the Fulton County Grand Jury investigating election interference by former President Donald Trump is wrapping up its final report. Prosecutors will then decide whether to seek charges. Trump's phone call to Georgia's Secretary of State telling him to find more votes sparked the investigation. Trump lost the state to President Joe Biden by 12,000 votes. Right now, veterans' graves at Sugar Hill Cemetery all have new wreaths, and a Boy Scout troop is part of making it happen. On Saturday, troop number 27 joined in the remembrance at Sugar Hill Cemetery and placed holiday wreaths over the grave sites of veterans. It's part of National Wreaths Across America Day, in which Congress designates a Saturday in December each year for the observance. The tradition started back in 1992 after a wreath company had a surplus of wreaths towards the end of the holiday season. Turning to the roads, we have a traffic alert for you. Construction on the new I-75 northbound lanes is complete. The change started last night, so now northbound traffic is shifted to the newly constructed lanes from Hardeman Avenue to the I-75 I-16 interchange. Also, one right lane will be closed on I-75 southbound while crews remove barrier walls. Tomorrow, Macon Bibb commissioners are set to meet for the last time this year. Majority of their agenda is voting on whether to give final approval on several street lights. At least 18 locations are listed on their agenda, from Glen Ridge Drive in East Macon to Cary Drive towards the south side. Mayor Lester Miller says the county is seeing several requests after commissioners loosened up some of the red tape around the process for people requesting more street lights in their neighborhoods. Now there's no petition process. People can simply request lighting. The time is now 6:38 here on your Monday morning. Speaking of lighting, we're going to see a lot of high light bills probably next month, Jordan, because folks are definitely going to be running that heat. We've moved past that point where you can't play with like not cutting it on. You need to turn it on.
That is correct. That or a fireplace or something to warm you up. I have a space heater in my room just for me, just in case to keep my little room in my little area.
Stay safe though
warm.
with that space heater.
Yes, you got to stay safe with them, and you got to make sure that they're a particular distance away from any furniture, and you don't really want to leave them on overnight. Kind of want to monitor it. But nevertheless, it's cold outside, especially in downtown Macon. 25 degrees. It's been like that for the past few hours. Thought it'd be a little bit cooler than that by now, but nevertheless, we will take it. Hopefully it stays warmer than what we are seeing right now. But the current temperatures across the board right now are very much on the cooler side. We're seeing temperatures in the upper 20s, 29 in Roberta, 25 in Macon, 28 in Gordon, 27 degrees in Wrightsville, and 26 degrees down there in Cordele. Dew point temperatures also in the lower 20. That means it's very much on the drier side right now. And you might want to bring that chapstick with you and have some lotion on just in case. Well, how cold is it outside though? Do you need a t-shirt, jacket, or a coat? I say you might want to grab that coat on your way out the door this morning. You're definitely going to need it. If you don't get it, you are going to probably regret it. But as we head towards the afternoon, it looks like we are going to see temperatures slowly but surely rise up, with highs closer to the lower 40s or lower 50s as we head into 1, 2, and the rest of the evening. But as we head into tonight, we will cool back off to the upper 30s, if not the lower 40s. 40 in Milledgeville, 39 in Macon and Warner Robins, 40 in Silverton, and 39 degrees down there in McRae. Now here's that cool air mass that's headed our way. You can see it slowly moving southward all the way down to southeastern portions of the United States and even Florida. And that's something we typically do not see, and therefore we will see below average temperatures over the next week or so. You can kind of see that here. The National Weather Service and NOAA put out this outlook, this temperature outlook, and we are going to be abnormally below average, and that encompasses much of the southeast and much of the eastern coast. Now, at least the radar is clear for it now, and that's all thanks to this high pressure that we have here just to our north. Not only is it keeping the cloud cover away, but it's bringing in those cooler temperatures along the arrows, as well as going to be moving eastward and bringing some rain later on this evening. Now, this is Monday, today at 12 o'clock. Kind of see that cloud cover finally starting to move in. Should be mostly clear though in the early morning hours. Now it's 6 o'clock. More of an overcast type condition, moving into 8, 9, 10, overnight into midnight. We could see that potential for showers, especially for some of our southern counties. Moving into Tuesday, more of a widespread event, even headed into Tuesday night, even into Wednesday. So rain is on the forecast, and you can see that here on the extended model. We saw waves of rain through Wednesday and Thursday, as well as even Friday of this work week. And you can see that there's some white and pinkish here on the screen. That's all wintry type of precipitation. That includes snow, sleet, freezing rain, especially where that pink is. That's typically a little bit more dangerous. So we're watching to see if we'll get any of that wintry precipitation. Right now, the GFS, only the GFS, so not even the Euro model, has that precipitation to our west. As we head into 11 o'clock on Friday, it looks like it does start to dissipate pretty substantially. Now, we are still far out, so we're kind of watching this and taking it with a grain of salt. I personally don't think we're going to get snow, but we shall see what happens. Like I said, we still have ways to go. As we head over the next 7 days, those temperature highs will eventually reach 56 degrees on Thursday, and we'll be back to the 30s on Saturday and Sunday, Christmas of this week.